Welcome to the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Krause.
We're back. It's almost like we never left, except for that one day we skipped. But hey, you know, we're good. We're here, and it's time for more BumbleKast.
I just had to take a little bit of a break. We're doing the one episode this week, but it's a big one.
Yep.
And then we'll be getting back to our 2 episodes a week because, oh man, we have oodles of questions to caboodle or noodle.
We're trying to get caught up on the priority Q&A of this episode, so kind of in a sense, you know. Yeah, it's weird because every priority patron has their own queue. So this has been an interesting. It's been an interesting experience putting together. So,
well, now that it's put together, let's tear it down.
Yes, let's do it. Let's start off the Patreon priority Q&A with one from Ko-fi because it's not Patreon. This one's from Madeline Blue Star 7. In the modern Sonic continuity of the games and IDW comics, does Knuckles have a designated shelter to live on Angel Island, or does he only live in the outdoors like Boom Knuckles? In the series finale of Sonic X, he mentions to Chris that he might pick out a spot by the Master Emerald Shrine, so I headcanon that he might have some kind of place to live, even if it isn't shown currently. If he doesn't, then what does Knuckles usually do to get full meals besides fruit and any other food that he can get on the island? Does he travel to cook meals and eat with his friends?
See, this all folds into a lot of issues with Knuckles' existence where I don't think there is a canon answer. It's just he is the lone guardian, and you're not supposed to think any harder than that. But like, if he's the lone guardian, how does he know how to speak? Who taught him to speak? And what language did they teach him in? Does he know how to read? Does he have any concept of technology outside of the ancient ruins before he, ventures off the island in Adventure 1 of all things? He should look at cars and be completely bamboozled. Are there game animals on the island? Does he eat game animals? How does he hunt? Does he hunt? What does he eat? The location of the Master Emerald itself has been kind of up in the air since Knuckles. So does he live with it? Is it out in the open as depicted in Sonic X and Adventure? And does that match that, or does it match what the comic has? The answer is there is no answer. They didn't think this through as far as I'm aware. So that would be something to explore, sure. But right now, I don't think there is an actual concrete answer.
What? They didn't think it through? That would never happen. Never. They would never come up with something but not think about the implications of it. Nope. I refuse to believe that. Anyway. Here's a question from Jib. To add on to that question about Starline interacting with Eggman's family, how would he feel about Gerald and how Shadow is a creation of Gerald's?
I feel like it kind of depends on the order of operations in terms of how he learns about Gerald, but I feel like the benevolence and the unbridled love Gerald had for both Maria and his fellow man would just not sit well with him. He would just kind of cringe and is like, oh, that's sappy. What a waste of your intelligence and your ability. But then when the whole, went crazy over Maria's death and just decided that the entire planet had to pay for it, then he'd be, there we are. That's where the apple didn't fall too far from the tree. Bravo, Gerald. All they took was a horrible murder to get your head in the right place. Okay. I can see why Eggman looks up to you.
Yes. Man, your Starline voice is great, by the way.
He needs more of an actual character voice.
He really, I mean, yeah, you could, but the way you voice him comes across, his personality just comes across really well. So, get somebody to do an impression of you doing a Starline voice and we'll be good to go.
I ain't gonna lie, I have been tempted to take like a couple screenshots out of Bad Guys and just do like a quick radio drama with the closest approximations I can get to each of them.
Do it.
I don't know.
Do it.
I'll tell you what, If this video can reach 500 likes by the end of the month, maybe I'll do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Yeah. Do it. Here's a question from Speedweed. If you were to get your chance to throw Mega Man or Sonic into the world of Monster Hunter like the good old days, or even if IDW just says screw it and throws in another Sega Capcom crossover, which monster would you absolutely kill to pit them against? The Super Saiyan Monkey Rajang, the Angry Pickle Devil Joe, the living Unabomber that won't leave you alone, Basil Juice? Really, what would be the most hype monster for Sonic or Mega Man to fight? Also, if I'm allowed to ask further, favorite monster from the games and favorite weapon set?
I am going to have to disappoint you because I don't know diddly about Monster Hunter.
Same. I know very little.
When we did Worlds Unite, Capcom specifically requested a Monster Hunter rep, and they specifically requested the monster that we had, and I've forgotten its name. It's not Rathalos, because that's the new hotness, or was as of
Gormagala?
Gormagala, was that it? Okay. And reading people's responses to his appearance, I clearly didn't do enough research or applied him just right, because apparently he's got like spores that mess with your nervous system or something, and that just didn't come into play at all.
Mm-hmm.
But part of that was deadline, because we didn't get the final list for a little bit, and part of it was there's just not enough room to do it all. It was too much on the plate, plain and simple.
Right.
So for the Monster Hunter fans who did pick it up out of curiosity, I hope they were at least tickled at the sight of Gormagala and the Palicos jumping on a giant Sigma and biting it. But if they came away from it going, that didn't really do a lot for Monster Hunter, it's like, yeah, okay, I get that. I apologize.
Yeah. I'm like, I think I played a little bit of Monster Hunter 3. I was playing it with a friend who was kind of showing me around a little bit. And it's a very cool game, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, I didn't get into it quite as deep as some people have. Some people have a deep love for Monster Hunter, and I appreciate that. But
oh, absolutely.
I just haven't gotten into it myself. So yeah. Definitely some cool monster designs and stuff, though. Here's a question from Dove. Is any research put into the real-world counterparts before you choose a species for a character? Or do you more have an idea what they'll be first? For instance, did you research platypus before making Starline 1? Or was he always going to be a platypus?
Part of it is I just like weird animals. I know a lot of armchair factoid stuff just because I like it. Find me an instance where I can actually, come to think of it, there is a project that I'm working on where I straight up told the development crew, if we can work a muntjac into this, I would be happy, because nobody knows what a muntjac is. And lo and behold, they're like, yeah, all right, we'll make it a muntjac. And it's like, hot diggity. For reference, it is the tusked Asian barking deer. Go look it up. It's just a delightful little word salad critter.
Wow, but, yeah, that is a bit of a word salad.
And there's more than one type.
Wow.
Just yes. It's a fanged barking deer. It's not even like I guess you could call that a bark. It sounds like this thing has been at a screamo concert all last night and has not recovered. It's a bark. It's fun. Anyway,
that's even like dog proportions. It looks like weird.
But yeah, muntjac, cool stuff. Fossas, binturongs, patos, just I love mimic octopi. Just I love them. I love all sorts of weird critters. So that's where I'm usually coming from. If there were an instance of I wanted a character that was specifically a species, and I wasn't familiar with it, sure, I'd do some research into it. Or if I had a particular character in mind, but I didn't know what really would reflect that character well, then I might start doing a bit of research, see what could possibly fit. The thing is that Sonic characters don't typically fit their animals too closely. I mean, yeah, hedgehogs roll into balls. That's why Sonic is a hedgehog. But since then, you know, Amy, Shadow, Silver, they don't really do that too much. They're more like hedgehogs in the same way that Goku and Vegeta are Saiyans. It's more of a racial trait now. But to get back to the point of your question, sorry, meandering. I would do research if need be, but typically a lot of this stuff just comes off the top of my head. Or in some cases, like Rough and Tumble, I didn't have a particular species in mind, and I left that up to the artist. I'm not particularly sure why Tyson went with skunks, but that's fine by me. They look neat, they're fun, and it didn't really disrupt their characters at all. And then from that art, I was informed on how to build the characters and move sets.
But Ian, I thought you totally ripped them off from a previous skunk character. I thought that was all you. I was told that was the case.
Here's the thing, Kyle, and anyone else listening, is don't take your information from one singular source.
What?
That's BumbleKast included. You know, I toss out what I think I know, in my opinion, all the time, but don't take me as the definitive word of God on anything.
Well,
unless
some
it's
people
Drogoon,
do.
and then that really is.
Some people do. Maybe they shouldn't.
Don't do that. Don't do that. I mean, I try to be as accurate and honest as I can be, but to err is human, and I am very, very human.
Yes. That was what I was getting at. Thank you for that. I wasn't trying to necessarily throw you under the bus, but, you know. I also kind of was.
That poor bus.
I know. It's ran over so many.
It's be wrecked for horrible.
It's ran over so many things by now. I was gonna ask: is Whisper a wolf because it's a pun? Because she's a lone wolf? Is that why she's a wolf? Did I figure it out?
To make sure that Konami doesn't come for my head, yes, that's exactly it.
Oh well, okay, that's true. Yeah, it's a good point. I forgot about that. Also, that inspiration. But I was also thinking, just like she's a lone wolf. Haha, yeah, wolf. I mean,
seriously, she does work on multiple levels.
Yes, that's a great thing about Whisper.
I mean, look at her name. She is a person who utilizes wisps. She's a whisper.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You could say Whisper is kind of quiet.
Indeed.
I see what you did there. At least she can wear clothes. Here's a question from PC the Unicorn. Ian, were there any scenes from all issues of Sonic or Mega Man you've written that made you misty-eyed? Because there are quite a few moments that have destroyed me in the feels, such as Mighty reuniting with Tilly and Blues, believing he was replaced by Roll and Rock.
Generally speaking, if you got kind of messed up by something I wrote, I was probably there with you in spirit, because I write these well before you've read any of them. But there are moments where it's like, if I'm getting misty-eyed writing this, it's like, oh man, I hope this works, because it's getting to me. It should get to everybody else. And usually the responses online are, why did you do this to me? I was having a good day, Ian. Why did you write this?
I thought you would be grinning maniacally like, I'm going to ruin them.
And I try. This is the thing, is like, whenever I get to a moment like that and I have this earnest emotional response, I'm like, am I being that arrogant? It's like, oh, this is such a beautiful, moving piece. I'm such a genius that it moves even me. It's like, I need to stay really good. Am I being melodramatic? Am I just a softie? Is this really working in its own context? And it usually is. Some more recent examples are when Tangle makes her revelation that she's already infected. She's been infected. And she's already thought of her, last stand, and she's keeping the stiff upper lip about it. That whole sequence with the infection crawling up the tail, that Good stuff, bad stuff, good stuff, but bad stuff. When Cream is infected and Gemerald is taking her to safety, and he says that he's just going to stay with her until it's safe, and it's like, ah, one of
Mm,
those few moments where the restrictions on the robot characters to be rather stoic and mechanical in the delivery works better
yeah.
than if you had somebody truly emotive. Um, Gamma's farewell in Sonic Universe, I think, personally, was hit me a bit.
Mm,
And then there's some other stuff where people reacted more strongly, but it's because I already knew where the story was going and I had already been elbow deep in the mechanics of the story. Like when Sally gets blammed back in the old book, people lost their minds.
yeah.
And rightfully so, because they don't know where it's going. They don't know that I have to do a mini series and then we're going to use that to bring her back. So I'm like, yeah, okay, it's shock value, editorial mandate, whatever, just run with it. And then everyone goes, and I'm like, oh yeah, you have to sit through this. Sorry.
Yeah. Just hold on, guys. Just hang in there. Hang in there.
And I'm really happy that all of these moments have had the art to back them up. Like the scene where Breakman is confronting Tempo,
Oh yeah.
and when that was, I mean, everything Tyson touches is gold anyway.
Yeah.
But when he finally just snaps and says he replaced me, just that moment of so good.
Yep.
I don't care if I wrote it. Just the art teams have always just brought it to another level. So thank you to everyone who has made me look good over the years. Just
Yes. The art is definitely a big part of it, but I mean, you lay the groundwork and they fly. They fly. I love it. Fantastic. Here's a question from Sonic. What are Shadow's shoes powered by? Are the rings on his shoes inhibitors like the ones on his wrists?
I don't know to either of those. I mean, those shoes have to have some kind of kick because they've shown to have, actual fire popping out of them, and they're allowed him to hover at least in one cutscene. I don't think that's been ever used again after that. But if they can propel him at Sonic-like speeds, I don't know. Maybe the rings themselves power the shoes, but then what are those rings? I don't know. I don't know.
Mm. I don't know either. Shadow's weird. He's an enigma or something like that. Here's one from Alphamine or you can. Hey guys, I gotta know, what do you think would happen if a Chow absorbed a Wisp? How would the Chow react to the Wisp's hypergoon energy? How would the process affect the Chow's personality? Would the absorption be permanent? Would absorbing a Nega Wisp, Purple Frenzy, Violet Void, Black Bomb, or Jade Ghost automatically turn them into a Dark Chow?
I toyed with this on Twitter, and some people came up with some neat concepts, and that was fun to see.
Yeah.
I would imagine that now wisps can convey their power at will. And given that Chow are snuggly little babies, even when they're dark, when they're dark, they're just, naughty little schmiggins, but, they're not malevolent. So I could see them transferring their power over. If the small animals are anything to go by, they seem to be a little lethargic after their traits are copied, so maybe the wisp would be tired, but they can freely give their energy, so maybe, I mean, they're made of energy, for pity's sake. So maybe they're able to transfer it to the Chow much risk or loss. And then I don't know if the Chow would retain it or if it would be kind of a brief boost. Because like Sonic doesn't, well, I was going to say Sonic doesn't hold on to the energy, but then again, he's not hoarding it. He's using it for the moment, and then presumably the whips just kind of leaves. So I don't know if it would be a trait or if they'd get like a small power up. Imagine a little child kind of just semi teleporting, zipping around with blue cyan laser energy. That'd be cute. Or developing little pink spikes, or devolving into a single staring eyeball. Let's not do that. No, never mind. I did a mock-up of that. It was horrible. So I don't know. It's got a lot of thought that needs to be put into it, and I would love to see that done. But first, we need to get the Chow back in any kind of meaningful capacity. As for Negawisps doing Dark Chowism, I don't think so, because they don't seem to be dark in general. Like, yeah, okay, so Frenzy's all, narm, 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 and whatnot, but what we saw of the Jade Ghost in the animation is she was just perfectly friendly and nice. And the wisps themselves seem to freely give in order to save their friends. So I don't really think the Negawisps are dark so much as they're kind of the polar flip, maybe. I mean, technically, Bomb and Jade Wisps aren't classified as Negawisps, even though they should be, but that's a whole other rant. Nega Mother Wisp was definitely a problem, but she's kind of like a whole different level of wisp. So you can maybe make that an exception. But I don't know. It would be fun to fully explore. So Sega, please do that.
I figured it would just happen and then it would trigger the heat death of the universe. I don't know. Could happen. Here's a question from Fire Red XY. In the alternate future that Quint comes from, Dr. Wily had given up his evil ways and made peace with light. Considering his penchant for never giving up to the point where his backup plans have backup plans, what do you think changed his mind on world domination?
All right, so I'm rusty on my mega lore, so correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I seem to remember it was present day Wily took the time skimmer into the future, and he was the one who prompted Mega Man being turned into Quint. That future Wily had retired, that he had made peace with things, and that it was present Wily who mucked things up, as he is wont to do.
Correct.
Why future Wily went along with that, and how that fits into my own headcanon of a stable time loop, I kind of still want to keep in my back pocket as this maybe potential one day thing. I know it's probably not going to happen, but darn it, stranger things have happened. I kind of want to hold on to that. But ultimately, the answer is, if I've got my lore correct, present Wily is the problem, and future Wily had moved on. It does beg the question how that fits into Zero and the virus, which I am fairly convinced is supposed to be a digital backup of Wily's soul, intentions, mind, however you want to parse it out. Like, in my mind, light endures with the capsules and into what I would assume eventually the elf technology, whereas Wily is something that is supportive and adaptive and beneficial, whereas Wily endures as the virus, something that's corruptive and self-sustaining and just a pain in the ass. And I believe that parallel would work so well, but I'm pretty sure that's like 90% fanon, so I can't really say. So, like, did future Wily just lock Zero in the basement and say, "Oh, it's a pity, but better to just keep it out of the way," and then Sigma's platoon finds it 100 years later? Oops. I don't know. I would love to tell that story though.
Yeah. It'd be great to finally freaking see it. Oh well. And now we get into a big question from Off. Some Smash reveal, am I right? With the fact that Kingdom Hearts, Sora, and Sonic are officially in a game together, it must be asked, how would a Sonic Cross Kingdom Hearts crossover go? What would Sonic make a good Keyblade wielder? Would Eggman make a gummy ship in the shape of his own head? Would Mickey get offended at Eggman using the term rat as an insult? We all know it's only a matter of time before Disney buys Sega, so we should start planning for the inevitable while we still can.
I would scoff, why would Disney buy Sega, but Disney will buy us all. So I, for one, look forward to Emperor, Amazon, Disney, PepsiCo, but
PepsiCo, okay. I think they're called.
To
I believe they are called Yum Brands. Thank you very much.
Excuse me.
No, that's their food thing. Frito-Lay, PepsiCo,
to steal a
Yum.
line from Team 4-Star, they've done wonderful things for the economy. Now that they are the economy,
Yeah, it's true.
For the reveal itself, I ain't gonna lie. I got up, ahead of time. I was thinking to myself, considering Bandai Namco's involvement in the development of the series, I'm a little surprised and let down that the only Tales of series rep we got was a me costume of Lloyd.
Yeah.
And considering that Symphonia, which was exclusive to the GameCube for a bit, more or less revitalized the series. We have Tales of today because of that title. And, Lloyd was the star of that, so fine. I've ranted about this before. And I had this thought of, man, wouldn't it be funny and kind of off kilter if they made the rep Alphamine out of Tales of Arise, the newest title, even though it's not on the Switch. And here's the thing, Kyle.
Yeah.
One of the images that they promoted a lot for Tales of Arise, and is one of the early plot points, is Alphamine reaches into, we're going to remain spoiler free here, reaches into a fiery object and pulls out a flaming sword. So in the Sora reveal trailer, Mario reaches to a flaming object and pulls out a flaming sword, and I'm sitting there going, no! Absolutely not. Alphamine does not deserve that slot. It should have gone to Lloyd. You can't be freaking serious. And then it turned into the Keyblade, and I calmed down.
Okay.
And then I was like, oh, that's Sora. That's nice. Can't believe they actually managed that.
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
Pretty cool. Nice. I'm glad Kingdom Hearts fans got what they have been asking for what, 20 years? More than that?
Almost. Since Sora was the top spot in the requested ballot back in 2015.
Yeah.
It's probably been in negotiations since then.
Something like that.
Because to pry Cloud and Star away from Square Enix, to get Disney involved, ye gods.
even just slightly involved, like just barely, like just that little hint, even. Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not a big fan of it. I'm more of a fan of the Barry Kramer synopsis videos than I am of the games themselves. But
Barry's videos are a delight. Yes.
There is no denying that Kingdom Hearts has been a major influence on gaming history.
Oh, absolutely.
For good or for ill. So Sora, sure, he deserves the spot. I got no qualms with that.
Nah.
I was really amused that they announced the costumes ahead of time. I was like, okay, you're not getting Octoling, and you're not getting Doom Guy. It's like, all right, well, what's left? Drop that other shoe. And we got Sora. After I panicked over a absolute course non-entity.
I really am surprised at the lack of Tails rep too, to be honest. It's a little strange. It is a little strange, but I don't know.
So it goes. It goes.
Yep.
At least he got a costume,
True. He got some sort of representation.
That's something.
Yeah. So how about the actual question?
Yeah. I mean, we talked about Smash tons when it came out back when we still had a talking segment of the show. So
true, yeah.
I feel like we need to tie a little bow on that.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be weird not having Smash news for the future. Anyway.
That's okay.
Sonic and Kingdom Hearts. So we've kind of touched on this before, I feel like, where Kingdom Hearts is all about, it's woven through the Disney properties. So if with that logic holding, it would be more like Sora and crew came to Sonic's world as part of their grand adventure.
Right.
And that would be the crossover. If we're to follow the format that I am familiar with. So we probably wouldn't see a ton of the crew, but Sonic he'd wield a Keyblade, no problem. I mean, he was worthy of Caliburn / Excalibur. He could wield a Keyblade. That's no biggie.
Yeah.
Amy absolutely would too.
Mm-hmm.
It would be worth it to see Iwakoi styled Goofy and Donald.
That's true. That's true. That would be pretty funny.
Minigame running segment where they all hit a ramp Sonic Heroes style. And they start doing the SA1 poses.
Nice.
Maybe the Badniks have like little Plutos hidden in them or something. But like Eggman would definitely build he wouldn't build a Eggman phased gummy ship. He'd build a gummy Death Egg.
Yeah. I was going to say. I mean, to be fair, the Death Egg sometimes does take the form of his head. Sometimes it has a mustache.
Okay, yeah, all right. So they're both right. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's egg shaped. Sometimes it's round. I don't know, man. Death Egg is weird.
And if you could manage to get Mickey to show up, well, good on you. But I think he's kind of relegated to the B plot because getting him approved at all is a nightmare.
Badnik Heartless, that would be pretty sweet. Heartless Metal Sonic. That might be pretty cool.
Yeah, all right. I dig that.
Yeah. Not bad, chat. Not bad.
Eggman's using the Heartless as the new fuel source for his machines, and we pull a perfect Chaos / Neo Metal / Bio Lizard / Solaris and it /
Time
Dark
Eater
Gaia
/ Time Eater / just
he held on to the Time Eater. I'm setting the precedent here of he loses control, so your end boss is some big out of control Uber cyborg Heartless thing. That might be fun.
And then your three main characters got to use the power of the Chaos Emeralds to go super. Super Sora, Super Donald, and Super Goofy. Super Goofy.
And failing that, Sonic encourages him to use the real superpower of teamwork
and friendship.
And that wins the day. Yeah.
Of course. Friendship always wins. I think that's great. I like that one. Wouldn't Mickey be offended by Eggman using the term rat as an insult? Well, Mickey is a mouse, so maybe, I don't know. Or maybe he'd be like, I'm a mouse, you idiot. I'm a mouse, you idiot. I can't do a Mickey. It
does depend on which incarnation of Mickey. Like, are we talking fun, adventurous Mickey or watered down, sterilized Mickey? Kingdom Hearts Mickey doesn't mess around. He'd probably whoop Eggman.
Oh yeah,
assassin him. Ultimately,
King Mickey would wreck him. Yes.
What we need out of this is Goofy singing "City Escape." Really.
Follow me, set me free. Trust me, and we will escape from the city.
Yep, pretty much.
I'll make it through. Follow me.
Does that yodel every time he does a jump down the vertical streets?
Wake me up. Wake me up. Oh, that's a different song.
Yeah, no.
Live and learn. Hanging on the edge of tomorrow. All right.
Well, this is what you wanted, wasn't it, Maria? A chance for everyone to be happy. Anyway, we got a question from Scruffy Matt.
Yes. Let's move on. To this one.
Mostly for Kyle.
Uh-oh.
But Ian, feel free to chip in too. You know what really grinds my gears? When you're playing a Sonic game with great music that suddenly gets interrupted by a different track, usually one more repetitive and annoying. This can be really annoying if you transform into Super Sonic in a certain game, with Sonic 3 being the worst. You've also got Big's incredible chill and soothing vibes in Sonic Adventure being interrupted whenever something's biting. Emerald Coast especially. Of course, that smooth jazz in Sonic Unleashed nighttime stages suddenly stops whenever Dark Gaia monsters show up and and there are others like it. Are there others like it that you can think of? Feel free to go beyond the Sonic series with this question. Which one grinds your gears the most?
Oh man. um this is I should have thought about this beforehand, because now I'm like kind of like drawn blanks for some reason. I
feel like the Supersonic one is forgivable in some instances. Sonic 3 and Knuckles' theme is really cool.
It's okay, yeah. Sonic 3 alone is pretty rough, and also I don't really care for Sonic 2's Supersonic theme either. It's kind of neat at first, but then it gets very, very, very old very fast.
And Sonic 4's is no good.
Well, you know, that's Sonic 4 for you. That's no good. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like the star music in Mario. That doesn't really bother me. It only lasts for like a few seconds, so it's not a big deal. Invincibility music in Sonic games is pretty much the same way, so. I'm trying to think of a game that really does that. I guess it's kind of annoying when it happens, like when All-Stars are triggered in Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. That's some of that. Sometimes those get kind of annoying and obnoxious and kind of just take the vibe away from the regular stage music. Other times it's like, hell yeah, it's time to kick ass as the All-Star. Here we go. Other times it's like, oh man, you ruined a perfectly good song by cutting in this other completely unrelated song. How dare you? I'm trying to think of some others. I know there are a lot of examples of this in video games. It's like it happens all the time, but I'm trying to remember if there are instances where I'm like where I find it really obnoxious. And do you have any ideas, Ian?
I mean, Sonic Adventure itself is kind of got this all over the place.
Well, yeah.
I like its funky soundtrack, but it is kind of jarring to be running through a stage and then you reach a new region and it changes the melody completely.
Right.
I mean, sure, it helps define that section of the stage, but it's kind of jarring.
It is very much it's just a smash cut of the music, which is a little weird.
And I can't think of a specific example, but like if you're in an RPG and you're enjoying the overworld theme, and then you get into a fight and maybe you don't like the battle theme, you're dealing with that battle theme until the fight's done, and yeah, you gotta wait for the field theme to get back to where you want it to be, and nope, you gotta fight and kill the thing again.
I mean, usually your general RPG battle themes are usually pretty good. Generally. Sometimes there's a less than ideal one. Like Super Mario RPG's battle theme, it's decent, but it definitely gets a little tiring. And it's used a lot, obviously. So it gets a little grating on after a while to just hear that. Just hear that over and over. It's like, okay, I get it. I'm in a battle. Thanks, music. I appreciate it.
However, the boss battle music for that game, listen to nonstop.
Fantastic. Yes, the game has great music. That battle theme is the regular battle theme. It's a pretty good song. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna say it's like awful or anything, but man, it gets exhausting after a while. I mean, I guess RPGs are probably one of the biggest offenders. JRPGs specifically, just because of the way their music is usually done, where they you're like in the middle of a dark, like a dark cave or dark temple or something exploring, and it's a very calming sound or a very haunting sound. And then all of a sudden you get into a battle and the freaking band starts up and it's all like, yeah, it's battle time. And it's like, well, I was just really enjoying these cool chill vibes or these weird creepy vibes. And now all of a sudden we're fighting. It's like, okay. So yeah, that's pretty annoying. So, yeah, that's really about it, I guess. Here's a question from the Hobo Joe. Following up on old characters no one talks about, I'd heard you said somewhere that Kodos the lion would have been fun to play with had he not died / fallen off a cliff and been exposed to massive amounts of radiation, I think. If so, in your eyes, what would have been worth exploring? I freely admit I haven't seen much, if anything, about him, and I only got a glimpse at Knuckles' book via the archives. I know not of which I speak, and only seek answers. I realize this is a moot point, but I can't help if I'm curious.
Mostly because the way that Patrick Spaziante drew him was really cool, and I just wanted to see more of that. Kodos didn't have a ton of character in his brief stint. When he read the villains together, he was kind of just a generic warlord, appropriate enough given his title, but he didn't have a lot to him, and then he degraded into just a snarling brute, and So, I don't know. He was looking at him now from the present perspective, he was way out of theme for the Sonic series, but I don't know. He was a cool big lion man with a giant axe. That's just neat. I wanted to do something fun with that. I don't know what specifically, but he was a big lion man and he had a big axe, and that was cool looking. And I'm sad that he devolved into kind of snarling mush by the end.
Yeah. Sounds like everything was snarling mush at about that time anyway, though. So, here's a question from Renard. If memory serves, it is impossible to de-roboticize original robot parts, requiring methods that are outside of a traditional machine. Example, that time Bunny was reverted via magic. Mecha Sally was given an entirely new body, save for her head, by Eggman. So how exactly would that have played out? Would Sally have been reverted back via magic or something? Would she be just a severed living head? Or is this a case of, what does it matter, we're rebooting anyway, and you just settled with a high-stakes consequence that had no intention to pay off?
Oh, no. I had full intention, and that's what's going to be covered in Lost Hedgehog Tales eventually. But the gun was placed on the mantelpiece. The fact that Bunny, who was established specifically as being unable to be de-roboticized, was changed back by magic was intentional. The fact that the characters stop and look at the nanite grass being turned into real grass by Nagas's magic was meant to be there, so that eventually, can you make the line between the two dots, boys and girls? How would that come to be? Well, we'll get into that later, because Lost Hedgehog Tales. But I dropped the breadcrumbs as much as I could. I shook the whole bag out. There were so many breadcrumbs, pigeons were coming. It was there. It was there. And then I kind of got the rug jerked out from under me. And it was beaten with said rug, smothered and thrown off a cliff in said rug.
Are you hinting at something? I'm not sure.
It happened again.
Are you hinting at something? I'm not sure. I can't tell. I'm confused.
I'm sure you'll get it if you use your noggin.
Nope. Not working. I don't get it. Yes, I see. I don't know. I don't see a damn thing. Here's a question from X. Super important question. Where does the Sonic cast stand in one of every Pokemon versus 1 billion lions debate? Do any of them actually believe the lion ladder argument? I have no clue what this is about.
Okay, I did a little bit of research on this. I couldn't find what the lion ladder aspect was, but the idea is put forward. You have one each of every Pokemon, all 900 or so. They don't have any special equipment. They don't have any paraphernalia, but they are coming for battle. And up against them is 1 billion lions.
Okay.
Just regular old lions.
Okay.
The lions themselves do not have any Pokemon typing, so they're absolutely neutral in this engagement.
Okay.
Some argue that the sheer volume of lions would overwhelm the Pokemon, since it's like, I don't know, literally like 1,000,000 to 1. I forget the math.
Something like that. That seems, I don't know.
Others contend that some of the Pokemon, like the baby ones and the lower level ones, yeah, they're lion chow. They,
Most
that
likely,
ain't gonna
yes.
change. Like Igglybuff ain't gonna do diddly. But the other one, some of them have just ludicrous powers if you're going off of the Pokedex. Like Empoleon is said to be able to cut through entire ships with his metallic wings. He would be carving through lions by the bajillions, and there's only a bajillion, excuse me, 1 billion to be had. You know, what is it, Arcanine, who's supposed to have the heat of the sun in his belly as he shoots out flamethrowers? You're going to have lots of crispy kitties. And we're not even getting into the legendaries. We're talking things that can like eat your brain when you're asleep and supposedly created the universe and
Yeah, I was gonna say the
something that
godlike Pokemon.
even if he doesn't have any of the elemental plates on him, Arceus should be able to just like nuke a bunch of them with judgment by itself. I don't care if it's a normal type, it's still a god laser from the sky. So I am of the opinion that it would be a nasty fight, but that the Pokemon would win by virtue of sheer firepower, even if it is ludicrous numbers of lions. I mean, for pity's sake, Entei causes volcanic eruptions when he barks. All he has to do is woof woof woof, and there goes half the lion population. Just
Mhm.
so that's my stance on it.
I'm wondering if
As for
like
the Sonic cast,
I'm thinking like the lion ladder would be like a stack of lions, like lions stacking on top of each other to attack a larger Pokemon's head or something. I'm thinking it might
well,
be
that's
something
just
like
silly.
that. Is that what it is? That what it is?
I don't
Okay,
know.
that I'm getting word that is what it is, and I'm also receiving word that it's so stupid.
Yeah, that's not a viable tactic.
Like
I don't
like
think.
what is this? Are these like the rats? Like if it were like a rat infestation, like the flow of rats just overtaking Pokemon, but instead of rats, it's like it's lions overtaking a Pokemon, just piling on top of them. Like
I
okay,
mean, sure, okay, you've got let's say a full million wave of lions jumping on top of Groudon. He's already got like sun-like temperatures in his body. He is literally burning molten earth in a
yeah,
dragon form.
mm-hmm.
It don't matter how many pounce on them, they're dead.
Pretty much, yeah, yeah, yeah,
The ones
yeah.
that fall off get drowned by Kyogre. It's no, the Pokemon abilities are just beyond hacks, and
Yeah, no, I
it would
think
take a while to get through that much meat. But I'm siding with the Pokemon.
yeah, I think the lions are screwed. I think the lions are pretty much screwed. That's okay.
Um,
Are there even 1 billion lions in existence to actually do this? I don't think there are.
I no,
No.
goodness no. I don't think there's been a billion lions in the existence of lions, but
Well, maybe, but I don't know. Oh well. Anyway, what
anyway.
you were gonna say something? What were you gonna say before
Well,
I
the
so
question
rudely
itself is
cut you
where does
off?
the Sonic cast? Where does the
Oh, where
Sonic
does the
cast
Sonic
fall
cast
in this?
stand in it? Okay, I completely missed that. Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
I feel like Tails and Eggman would side with me on this one. They crunch the numbers. They're the analytical ones. They would understand. They would go with it. Uh, Sonic, Knuckles, maybe even Amy, they might side with the Lions if it's in the concept of they're going to try their best against impossible odds. With all our friends together, we can overcome anything. And Tails is like, no, Lugia can create hurricane force winds from a standstill. You're not beating them. And it would just turn into another forum debate.
It's true. It's true. And our last question before we go on break is a question here from Noni. All right, so been thinking about Zavik and how particular things aren't the Zeddy way, and how it seems staying in a pack is important, and the general way the rest of the Deadly Six are acting with the Master and the Student. And is this a cult? This feels like a cult, or at the very least, are all Zeddy like this, or is it just a quirk with these guys?
Good questions overall. One note I did receive, and we had to tinker with the dialogue here and there, was that the Deadly Six are not committed to each other or to the pack, and that once Zavok left, they would go about and do their own thing, pretty much.
Hmm.
They're not beholden to him as a leader out of any kind of loyalty, so much as he kind of bullies them into doing what he wants. And so we had to finagle as a matter of they're so deep in enemy territory that for their own individual sakes, they need to come together so that they can do the most damage. At least that's the rationalization I made at the time. Zeke and Zavok's master and apprentice thing is different, but maybe that shows that not all Zeti follow that destructive line of thought. We haven't seen any other Zeti, is the thing.
Right.
We have no context of what others, if there are other Zeti, what any culture they might have. I don't know if we really want to get into all that because that would mean more Zeti and more time on Lost Hex, and I don't think anybody really wants that, but it would be interesting to explore. I would be up for it myself because I'm a glutton for punishment, but the general consensus I got back on the Zeti Hunt arc was, all right, that was nice. Thanks for wrapping it up. Let's not go back there anytime soon. It's like, yeah, I feel you. I get you.
Hmm. Alrighty. Well, with that, we're going to take a real quick break, and then we'll be right back with more BumbleKast. And we have returned. It's time for a question from Danny the Light. Will we ever get an encyclopedia book of the Sonic IDW comic era once there's more info and more oomph to the series like we had with the Archie comics? I know Sega is not big into lore, but comics bring more life to that world than the video games ever did. So it would be nice to have an encyclopedia printed out for IDW as a refresher.
I can't say. I don't know. That's above my grade. It would be neat. It'd be especially nice if it could be just like one giant handbook on modern Sonic lore that folded in the IDW stuff. The IDW stuff would have to become canon, but there's ways around that. You can do that. I don't see that being a problem.
Nope.
But maybe. But I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Oh, maybe someday. Once it gets more issues in, build more of the world out. I'm ready.
Again, I never expected Tangle and Whisper, 1, to get a miniseries, 2, to get it within like the first years of the book's lifespan. Never mind all villains, one that's mostly comic characters. You know, it's this series has defied all my expectations. So I don't know. I don't know.
and then Tangle and Whisper got merged, and then they appeared in games. Sega made games officially. I mean, sure, they're mobile games, but they're still Sega games.
Hey, it's more than anything else, really.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. We'll see someday. Here's a question from Happy Times. If you knew going into 2016 the Archie comics would end, how would you have planned things different for the main series and universe? Extend the Shattered World arc to make its conclusion the finale, or do something different in the last issues? Focus on other characters in Sonic Universe?
I'd have to see what the timeline of that was, how many issues that is, and whatnot. Working under the premise of, we started, we knew we had X amount of time to do stuff.
Right.
And God, knowing that we would end right before we hit the anniversary milestones would have been torture. Finding out the way we did, but I don't know, seeing that line in the sand and knowing we would always miss it might be worse somehow. I don't know, because a lot of Shattered World was built around the concept of rebuilding the lore so that we could explore it at our leisure, because we didn't think there was going to be an end. And if we knew there was going to be an end, there's no reason to dwell on that world building,
Right.
The whole premise of, cribbing off of Unleashed storyline was to have a big game familiar globe-trotting adventure with gigantic stakes. And if we knew it was going to end, we wouldn't necessarily need that. The beginning stuff probably would have been similar insofar as we need to reintroduce the freedom fighters in the new way so that they were accessible. And since we're having this imaginary version, they don't regain their memories at any point because that's better that way. And I don't know, maybe if we had that finite amount of time, might have been better just to focus on individual adventures with the Freedom Fighters, as was going to be planned for Sonic Universe before things got torpedoed.
Mm-hmm.
So, and as for Sonic Universe, I don't know. I think the Dark Trilogy is still pretty good standalone, so maybe that would stay as it is. I don't know. It's hard to say without just like rewriting the whole thing. But if we had to do it again with that finite marker in mind, maybe it would have been better just to do something wholly different.
Yeah. I just keep going back to gigantic stakes. You mentioned steaks. I could go for a gigantic steak right now. Steak. I'm sorry. I have nothing to contribute to.
No, you're not. You know you're not.
I have nothing.
Don't you lie to me.
I have nothing to contribute. I am just
aside from making me hungry.
I'm just here, man. I don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm here. All right, here's a question from Pendulce. Hypothetically speaking, how would a date between Eggman and Starline go? Assuming that Eggman actually tends to it, not like in St. Valentine's when he went to destroy everything with Cupid robots instead.
Eggman is not a romantic individual. And he doesn't really care for anyone else. So
is Starline a romantic individual? I mean,
I
guess he kind of is. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
In his own way. Yes.
Right, okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
So if they were to go on a date, I think Starline would have to trick him into it.
Probably, yes.
Like, Eggman thinks they're going on a review tour of the facilities, and they just happens to go to a 5-star restaurant and a nice walk through the park that they're totally scoping out for future conquest.
Mm-hmm.
And isn't a beautiful night? The moon so glowing and huge with that giant hole in it when you blew it up that one time. You remember, Doctor? Doesn't just put you in the mood for conquest. And Eggman's just like, you're being weird. I'm going home.
Yeah. Yeah. Weird. Anyway.
And then Cubot comes rolling out of the bushes with the ukulele. Oh, this is a night, such a beautiful night, and they call it perestroika. Give it up. Just perestroika. That's not even the words. Sorry, boss. Co-boss, sub-boss. Well, you know what? I'll let you work that out with Eggman. Come along, Cubot.
Let's get into the next question here from Andrew D. Do you have any knowledge on the multiverse of Sonic games? More specifically, is the human world in another dimension like Blaze's world, or is it another planet? Did the White Space in Generations take place in a sort of pocket dimension?
I do know, and last time I got into this topic, I was asked to not do that anymore, so I'm gonna just kind of shy away from it. Suffice to say that Sonic Generations affected, I'm presuming, all of that universe, because I can't imagine time affecting just one planet. That's silly.
Okay. Here's a question from Les. Have y'all ever had moments of being starstruck when you met prominent figures? How did you handle it then versus now? Do you still experience that from time to time?
No, I'm a stuttering mess every single time.
I'm still amazed I get to talk to Ian Flynn every week.
Oh, pshaw.
I'm kind of serious. Kind of.
We've been doing this for how long?
I know.
By now, the luster must have worn off.
I think it's still pretty cool, you know?
The gold leaf is gone. All you see is the greasy underwood.
Well, that's okay. I like that too. I'm weird, okay?
All right.
I mean,
it's the alternative.
I mean, it was pretty cool. Like meeting you the first time, I was a little nervous. I know we'd talked before. It's not like it was like a totally new thing, but it was like, oh, hey. And then we just kind of talked just like we talked, you know? Nothing too crazy about it, but it was like, I don't know, it's just cool.
Well, I cannot conceive of myself as any kind of special celebrity type. I'll do shows and I'll be at the table and there will be kids and teens and shoot, even adults who approach in this almost bowing nature, like, and it's incredibly flattering and humbling that they think that highly of me. It's like, I am not that important. I am not that special.
You're important to them. You're important to us,
and I'm
Ian.
happy to be. I'm glad to be.
What you've done has touched a lot of people, touched their lives in many ways, in good ways.
And I am thankful for that. I don't mean to be unappreciative of it.
No, I don't. No, that's not what I was trying to imply.
No. There's been a couple times where a friend of somebody comes up to get a book signed because they're just too nervous or embarrassed of their nervousness that they can't come to the table, and it's like, I won't bite. I am not that scary, I promise you. I'm flattered that you're here to see me at all, and I'm sad that you're losing out on the experience because you don't feel like you can approach me. I'm not that big of a deal. I'm really not. Once things have calmed down and we can do shows again, and you come to a show looking for me, please just come up and say, hey, it's cool. We're all good.
Right.
Me, on the other hand, I am a stumbling mess of a person. I've tried really hard to not be, because now that I've been on the other side of the table and I've seen that kind of reflection of myself, it's like, okay, they're just people.
Right.
It's okay. You can go say hello. Just don't be weird. Eye contact's good. Don't maintain it that long. Look somewhere else. Don't look there. Just be cool. Think about how you feel, like you feel every pore opening up and that you're a sprinkler system now. Just don't think about that. Everyone's sweaty at a convention. It's fine. You're fine. Just be cool, man.
I mean, the nervous laughter I have on this show, pretty much. That's exactly it's exactly the same thing. So
there's a project I'm working on right now with somebody else. I don't want to name him just yet because this project is like super base level working, and I feel like even saying I'm working with so and so is a humble brag.
Mm-hmm.
And he's totally cool to work with. I mean, he's way more of a celebrity than I am by far, but he's totally cool to work with, and he's totally chill, and he's like, no pressure about this. And
right.
I'm still kind of giddy every time I send him a DM saying, oh, I contributed to the thing we're working on. It's like, dude, tone it down. You've actually known him for a few years now. He's friends of a friend. You've talked as people. You went to dinner with him at a show. Just chill out.
I mean, now you know how I feel with you, kind of.
Yeah, but he's actually somebody. I'm just not.
Shut up. You are wrong. You are wrong. You are wrong about yourself. You are incorrect.
Whatever.
You are incorrect, sir. And I will call you out on it. Anyway, are you ready to go on to the next one?
We absolutely are.
All right, here we go. Here's a question from Diane W. I've been playing some Puyo Puyo Tetris and having a lot of fun while raging for messing up the puzzles and not focusing right when I'm running out of space. Sounds like Puyo Puyo to me. Mm-hmm. I am a bit curious, what would a crossover between Sonic the Hedgehog and Puyo Puyo Tetris be like? Like the story and adventure mode? What brought the Sonic cast into the world of Puyo Puyo Tetris? And the interactions between the characters? I know that Sonic has made a guest appearance in Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, which I've not played yet as of writing this, but I'm taking a game where Sonic can go in the game 100% with the Puyo Puyo Tetris cast.
Like Monster Hunter before it, I don't know anything about the Puyo Puyo series, aside from that there are characters and stories.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't even begin.
Would this be like? Would this end up being kind of a pseudo sequel to Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine?
Maybe could spin it that way. I think Puyo Puyo is a generally fantasy series. There might be magic involved, so that's an easy opportunity to bring them over.
Oh yeah,
bad guy or good guy magician calls for help or is causing trouble and therefore needs backup, and magic portal characters show up and Bob's your uncle.
Pretty much.
I'd have to know who the cast was, what are their idiosyncrasies, who would be fun to pair up together because they're similar, who would be fun because they're different. It'd be very different than the Monster Hunter thing because I don't think there's really a lot of reoccurring characters in that, at least throughout the series. I think it's more like the monsters that keep showing up. I could be very, very wrong. Comment below and let us know. But I don't know anything really about the series, so I can't even begin to try to put something together.
I think thematically it would work. The tone is similar, and I mean it's they're both Sega, so it's kind of inevitable.
Sure.
I mean, the Sonic crossover has already kind of happened in a sense, but like if you were to do a Puyo Puyo Tetris versus Sonic the Hedgehog, just a total crossover game, I think you could have some fun with that for sure. Here's a question from Scurvy Pirate Hog. You've talked about Elmer Fudd meeting Cream and Wile E. Coyote versus Antoine. So, in order to continue that trend, what would a meeting between Black Doom / Black Arms and Marvin the Martian be like?
You would think that the evil aliens would be working together, but no.
No, of course not.
Black Doom wants to harvest all life on Earth to feed his brood. Marvin wants to blow up the Earth in his way of Venus. So he's trying to blow up the Earth. And now the Black Arms are scrambling to save the Earth from Marvin the Martian.
Oh, the irony.
He's powered up the Eclipse cannon. He's taken aim. At the last second, Doom's eye is like finagling and unscrewing the cannon at the very end. And Marvin goes, "Where's the kaboom? You're supposed to be a Sonic World shattering kaboom."
Sonic World shattering kaboom. Oh, you've done it again. You've done it again. I am broken.
Yep, this big green alien Martian birds with mallets whopping Black Arms left and right. They're getting vaporized by Dark Arms weapons, and it's like, oh god, it's brutal. But they're coming around with like stick dynamite and anvils.
Oh boy, yes.
Unfortunately, they do end up like sitting down and talking it out. And Black Doom's just like, "Look, just let us eat all the people. Then you can blow up the Earth." And Marvin's like, "Oh, that's perfectly amenable." And then they team up, and that's when things get bad.
True. Good point. But has Marvin ever been really competent? He's never really been all that competent, has he?
It's been a long time since I watched that stuff, but I think he's actually kind of competent, at least more so than like Fudd or Sam.
True.
Like he isn't as distracted as they are. He will arm that cannon. He will fire. The only reason it didn't work is that Bugs or Duck Dodgers got in the way and disarmed it when he wasn't looking.
Right.
Otherwise, Earth would be confetti.
That's true. Oh well. And our next question here is from Jeff G. Have you seen the 1995 Sonic Look and Find book? It's a Sonic-themed Where's Waldo with the SatAM Freedom Fighters and Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog Robotnik. I had this book as a kid, but only recently realized it was worked on by folks at Archie.
Yeah, Art Mulhenny did the art for it. I remember seeing this as a kid years and years ago, but I didn't get it for whatever reason. So it was kind of neat to see it again.
Yeah, okay, I do kind of remember seeing this. I don't think I had it. I had a Sonic book. It was like a novelization sort of thing based on SatAM.
There were a few of those.
There were a few of those, but I only had one. But yeah, that's the only Sonic book I remember having other than, the comics. So it's pretty cool. It's neat.
If you want to see what we're talking about, there's a link to the book itself, a digital version, in the Q&A master list of our BumbleKing.com. Just scrolling down, search for this question or for Jeff G specifically, and the link there.
Yes. All right, here's a question from Dwizdisdin. Surge versus Scourge. Who is more of a little gremlin child?
That's debatable.
Hmm.
And I can't really debate it because Surge hasn't been published yet. So
Just
I don't know. We'll have to wait on that one.
just based on her appearance, Surge definitely looks more like she's definitely more. She looks like she's going to be real troublesome. And I am here for it. I am here for it. I stand. You know what that means? I don't know what that means. But I stand.
And yes, this is a JoJo reference. To steal from Team 4-Star again.
Here's a question from Ava Arctic. Hello there. Been a big fan of Tangle and Whisper since their reveal. Probably my favorite characters in the series so far. With Spooky Month just around the corner. Actually, we're in Spooky Month now. What do you think would be their favorite spooky horror movie? And to add to it, their favorite Halloween candy?
Tangle is not particularly picky on her candy. She just wants to have the candy.
She just wants sweet. Yes.
Like, can you imagine how many trick-or-treat pails she can fit on that tail? And both hands?
Uh-huh.
Pardon me, both arms?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
No. She makes out like a bandit each year. And then is, sick for the month of November and doesn't learn her lesson. Whisper is far more selective. I see her liking like little colorful marshmallows. She likes to nibble them.
I like marshmallows.
As for scary movies, Whisper's not a fan of them. She's not really a fan of movies in general, but she'll sit and watch whatever. Tangle has an absolute favorite slasher fic. She has never seen it through.
She gets too scared. But she loves it.
She is super hyped into it. Oh my god, this is the best thing ever. It's so scary. Oh my god, you can't believe it. And she's so into the opening like 15 minutes, and then the first like scare, she's like curled up inside her tail like it's a wicker basket, peeking between the individual coils. And by the first murder, she's gone. She's out of the room. She's doing another trick-or-treat run. She's gonna make popcorn for the third time. It's kind of late. She needs to go to bed. Or, did you hear something? I need to go make sure all the doors are locked in the entire Spiral Village. Just, okay, you keep watching. It's fine. And then when it's done, she's like, oh, man, wasn't that great? I love that movie. Every year it's a tradition.
I figured Whisper would just find her curled up in the fetal position somewhere. Whisper's like looking around like, awkward? What's going on here?
What's really bad is when the wisps clue into the fact that Tangle just can't handle it, and so they start messing with her.
Aww.
I mean, they're basically little ghost babies. They're flying into the kitchen to rattle the pots and pans. They're flickering the lights.
Wow, I didn't know the wisps were that
tail
mean.
When she doesn't realize. Antics ensue.
Oh wow, that's very mean. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Here's a question from Hero of Light 13. We already have an idea of how difficult it can be to get Sonic to really sit still and commit to something like seeing a movie with friends or going out on a date with Amy, etc. But as he is a teenager, how do you picture the possibility of Sonic mellowing a bit as he gets older? Boom Sonic always struck me as an idea of how a college-age Sonic would act. Still himself, attitude and adrenaline junkie and all that, but also a little more prone to be lazy, willing to do fun, low-energy hangout things with his friends for long stretches of time, not acting like he's going to die of boredom if he isn't moving every 3 minutes or so. He seems more prone to stop and smell the roses than usual. I feel like that's a good indication of how he could realistically mature as he gets older if he were allowed to age. But what thoughts or ideas do you have about how Sonic would act as he ages and wises up a bit?
I could see him becoming more mellow, a little more chill and laid back in general, but I don't really see him losing that excitable edge. Like, maybe he's not the first one out of the gate to go skydiving without a parachute, But when somebody suggests, he's like, yeah, all right, that sounds cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ever see him like settling down or stopping. I always see him on the move, but maybe he does, as you say, stop to smell the roses. Like he takes longer pit stops and like enjoys the town he's in for a little longer than usual. He doesn't, get up and go, the minute he's found the one souvenir he likes. He sticks around for a few days. He chats it up with the locals. Maybe sticks around for a couple months, and then it's been a while. Time to stretch the old legs and sprints across the continent.
Of course, as always. Next question here is from Wolf's Bane. Ian, what's your first impressions of the Mario movie castings? Weird.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure what to make of it. Number one, having Cranky Kong in the cast and having what's his name at a wrecking crew.
Oh,
that tells me that there's going to be a lot more plot to it than I was expecting, because that seems to be setting up a previous encounter with the original Donkey Kong that is Cranky, and that they're sticking to DK being the next generation, or at least some degree of it. Whether or not he's junior, I don't know, but Cranky is there. That throws me for a loop.
that's definitely weird. Like there's some very strange things going on with this as far as just the characters involved.
Having Mr. Peel be Toad is like, why do you have that much talent going for the side character? How much of a role is Toad going to have? I don't know. It's weird. Like there's some real star power in there, and it's weird.
Yeah.
Like I'm worried that for some things like Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, are we going to get Seth Rogen playing Donkey Kong? Or is Donkey Kong just going to speak with Seth Rogen's voice?
That would be very weird.
And given how a lot of these movies work, I'm more inclined to think it's the latter.
Yeah.
But they seem to be implying there's going to be some heavy continuity, so maybe there's more story to it. Jack Black as Bowser, I think, is inspired.
I think that's a great casting choice. It's going to be maybe a little weird, but I think he can make it work. What they might do is probably give him like a little deeper voice effect. Sure.
But he's going to bring the power and the fun and the energy that Bowser needs. He with the right direction, he's gonna be the best part of the movie.
Probably, yeah.
Bar none.
Yeah. He's gonna have that gravitas, I think, that you need, and just the charisma.
Yeah, because that's Bowser is he's fun.
Yep.
Like sure, he's a threat or can be, but he's goofy.
Yeah.
Like, he's just silly at times.
Yes.
And I think Jack can do that.
Yep. I agree.
So I don't know. It's definitely got my attention, and I don't know what to think of it.
Yeah. I mean, the man, Chris Pratt as Mario is very I don't know. That's weird. It's just weird. I don't know what to think of that. That one just like completely flabbergasts me. Charlie Day as Luigi actually isn't too bad either. I can see that working. So,
and I do appreciate that they at least said that Charles Martinet is involved in some capacity.
Yeah, but it seems kind of like, yeah, you can be in this movie, but you can't be, your guy.
Yeah, but at least they acknowledge that, and he is included versus the Sonic movie where's Roger Craig Smith?
Yeah.
Or Ryan Drummond or Jaleel Whiteley.
Literally anybody, yeah.
Like have them as walk-on roles in the big, Pentagon room or something,
Yeah.
But no. So
yeah,
but
it's gonna
be interesting.
It is very interesting. So I know a lot of people they made fun of it, and it's, a lot of memes, of course, and silliness came out of it, of course. But I hate to like just crap on it before it's even out there right now. You never know. You never know. It might be amazing. It might be horrible. It might be hilariously horrible. It may be funny. I don't know. We'll find out. It's really going to come down to like direction, and I don't know. Maybe Chris Pratt actually does have like a killer Mario impression that works out. I don't know.
And Kevin Michael Richardson is Kamek.
That's good. That is good.
What in the world?
But it's weird, yes.
Like, nothing against him. His voice is phenomenal. But Kamek?
I mean,
number one, why Kamek is Kamek is a character. Like, are we gonna go full Yoshi story here and show the babies?
Maybe.
And just imagining his voice coming out of Kamek is just like, whoa, what?
Yeah,
whoa.
He probably would have been a better Bowser, but I mean, the casting of the other Super Mario Brothers movie, the one from '93, that's also weird. But I also like it. I feel like Bob Hoskins really does a great job embodying Mario, and
absolutely.
And John Leguizamo's Luigi. You know what? I can get behind it. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's totally cool. I like him as Luigi in there. He's obviously a completely different character. Here's the thing. The Super Mario Brothers movie, 93 movie, all right, you can crap on it all you want. Fine, whatever. I love it. It's not a good Mario movie, but it is a very entertaining movie in its own right. And it has a lot of stuff to like. There's a lot of stuff to like about it. Dennis Hopper as Koopa is like, yeah, that's weird, but it works. There's just, there's just so much of that. There's so much of things that are weird, but they work. So I'm kind of hopeful that this will also work out. So we'll see how it goes. And our next question is from Bad Piggy's Lover. What are the current ages of Fiona Fox, Honey the Cat, and Percy the Bandicoot?
I think Fiona did have an actual canon age, that she was roughly Sonic and Mighty's age because of the whole children labor camp thing. The timeline had to work out to that.
Mm-hmm.
Honey, her existence is fuzzy in terms of canon anyway, but I would imagine she's comparable.
The character she's based on is 16 in the first Virtua Fighter and 18 in the second.
So it would make sense if she fell in that range. Percy, I have no idea. But again, Sonic character probably in that teenage range.
Yep. But getting flirty with Tails because apparently that's what the teen females do around Tails. Weird.
Oh, yeah.
Weird.
We all know how much those high school girls went after the grade schoolers. Fond memories of that. Wait, that never happens.
Maybe it's just
does, the school counselors involved.
Maybe they're just really into Tails' big brain.
Let's get on to the next question before this gets any worse.
Okay, last question here from Digama. Who would win, Rough and Tumble or Sleet and Dingo?
Rough and Tumble.
Oh yeah. Is this even a contest? Like what?
I mean, Sleet would have the plan. He would know how to utilize Dingo for the best situation, but nah. Rough and Tumble.
Yeah.
They would persevere.
Mm-hmm. Did Sleet and Dingo ever appear in a comic, or were they just in Underground? Trying to remember.
There was that one tie-in in the special, and I think they appeared there.
Okay. Yeah. Oh well. At least they're not. What's their names? Sleuth Doggy Dog, and who's the other one? Drago and Sleuth Doggy Dog. Was that it?
Yeah.
Sleuth and Doggy Dog. That's
not even worth mentioning.
That's such a boomer name for something. Like, yeah, clearly you don't know. You're clearly someone who is like, this is what the kids like. They like Snoop Dogg, so here's a dog.
Yeah, and he had a spy partner. It was Sir Kicks a Lot.
That might have been it. I can't remember. Like
It was another, yeah.
Yeah, it worked alongside Kicks a Lot. There we go. And Fly Freddy. What the hell are these names?
Yeah.
Kicks a Lot. Sleuth Dog, Kicks a Lot, and Fly Freddy. Oh, Sonic comics are weird, man. They're just weird. They're weird. Anyway, yeah. Rough and Tumble just like it trounced all those guys. It don't matter. It don't matter. I like how we're getting what the heck are you talking about in the live chat. Like, what the heck are you guys talking about? Oh boy. Are you in for a quote unquote treat? If you ever go back,
summer children.
If you ever go back and read early Archie stuff. Anyway, that's it, I think.
Yep. We're going to wrap it up with a big thank you to all the patrons through patreon.com, ko-fi.com, and our YouTube membership who make this show possible. Thank you so much to Daniel H., Alex P., James K., John B., Jennifer R., Robotnik Holmes, Samuel P., Sam Cybercat, Torchbound, Justin G., Mike B., Bradley TT, Coupland Crew 128, Duas Disden, Diane W., Andrew D., Scruffy Matt, Chris A., Sony Salute Your Cat, Dave M., John M., Off, Noni, Don B., Yami M., Sin Fritz, Lee H.K., Lisa M., J. Frost, Chevelle, Jib, Hero of Life 13, Piggy Bank, Blue Title Gamer, Ryan D., Tick Tick, Speedweed, Final Neil, Justin S., Jonathan D., Rachel W., Godzilla, Chaos Universe, Sonic Legacy, Dabbler the Delicate, Daniel B., Sonic, PC the Unicorn, Ben Wolfsbane, Dove, Red the Supernamic, Pendolce, Invade Turbo Tunis, Joe S., Preston M., Carlos, Jennifer H., Chad, Alphamine Oryukin, Michael, Jonathan R., Renard Pixel, Les, Chase L., Owen BD, Fire Red XY, John the Real Waluigi, Noah S., Sapphire Scarletta, Spark Z, Turbo, Crooker, Lexi Loves Jojo, Corjiro Highwind, Michi, Louis J., Zanderoni the Painter, Kimiko, Callum Q, Red Ray, Ava Wolf, Welcome Home, Buddy, Madeline Blue Star 7, Happy Times, Scurvy Pirate Hog, and Jeff G.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for your support and for joining us and listening to this BumbleKast. See you on the next BumbleKast, which will be next week.
Yep, we're going back to our Monday, Wednesdays, Priority Mondays, Standard Wednesdays, and we're going to get through these questions. We're going to get through them. We're going to do it.
We're going to do it someday.
Promise you.
Someday we'll get there. It may not be this
sure how,
year.
Since we're going to be doing the live thing at the end of the month again, but we're going to do it.
It may not be this year. It may not be next year. It may not even be 10 years from now, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it. In the meantime, get out of here.
Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Stay good.
And get out of here.
Yeah, fine, yeah.
Get out of my house. What are you doing in here?
I'm going.
I'm not you, them.
Oh, well, see, you were pointing the pitchfork in my direction, so I assumed.
No. I was not pointing the pitchfork at you. I was trying to give it to you. So you had it. So you also had one, because I have another one over here.
I see.
Perfect. Yes.
Excellent.
Yes. So we can both have one. So you can get out of here.
Right.
Poke. Leave.
All right.
Leave.
I'm going.
Not you.
You just said.
I'm not talking to you.
You gave me the exit pitchfork and everything.
I'm not talking to you. I'm telling you to poke the others. Use your pitchfork to poke the others out of here. Get them out of here.
All right. So after all this time, you're not talking to him anymore. I get it.
They're taking up all this. They're breathing all of our air, so they need to get out of here. Air is limited these days. Clean air is limited. Don't you know?
Look, I'll just poke some holes here, and there,
okay.
More air will come in.
Okay. Oh, okay. That'll be fine, I guess. Maybe. Whatever.
I like how I'm pantomiming and there's no camera.
I was kind of doing that too. Well, sometimes it helps.
It does, I suppose. Like with the Q-bot bit in the ukulele. I'm playing a tiny ukulele. Nobody's going to see me.
That's okay. It helps, It's
air ukulele.
It gives you a little bit of. It gives you something to go with. You gotta go with it. It gives you something. It makes you feel more in character. Whatever works, The Sonic Chronicles is what happens when you run out of time to compose all the music, and you got to rip it all. You got to rip all the music out and replace it with fan-made MIDIs downloaded from vgmusic.com, and yeah, and you leave only a few original compositions in there, and they're decent, but most of it is just straight up MIDI rips, like literally downloaded things made by fans downloaded from vgmusic.com. You can look up the comparisons, and it's like, oh no. Oh no. So it's all the same mistakes and everything are in there that people made making midis. It's rough, man. It's rough. So yeah. Did I have a good trip? Yes, I did. A nice trip out of doors. Mostly outdoors. Or at least in a car. Away from other people. Where I like to be. I like to be away from other people. It's a good place to be. Unless they're good people. Like if they're not good people around, or I don't know who they are. Yeah, it is kind of scary out there. It's also extremely bright, and like the sun tries to kill you. It sucks. You gotta like slather yourself in lotion. It's creepy. Hi, Ian. You came in at just the right time.
Creepy lotion slathering, are we?
You came in at just the right time. Talking about sunblock. Going outside, you know. That's definitely what we were talking about before you came in here. Obviously.
Oh, sure.
Uh-huh. Definitely. You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org. I thought Sonic 4 was more of a slight against the franchise than Sonic Forces.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm the weird one on that or what, but Sonic 4 was like, the problem was they called it Sonic 4.
Yeah, that was the biggest issue.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm an episode 2 apologist. I felt like they were getting things right.
Well, if they were planning on making it a game like a Sonic 4, like they probably should have had it right the first time.
Yeah, well.
Sonic 4 is not a taboo. It's just, it's not great. It's mediocre. It does not live up to its presence. It does not live up to its title. And also it's weird because it's a modern Sonic game, but it's numbered like it's a classic Sonic game.
And it has the very, very rare sin of having unremarkable music for a Sonic title.
Yeah. Which is very strange because it's Jun Senoway composing it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was just him trying too hard to be to channel Sonic 1 and 2's soundtrack when he should have been channeling Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles' soundtrack instead, the ones he actually worked on, or what. But I don't know, it was weird. It didn't sound quite right. He used the drum samples from Sonic 1 and 2, and those sounded fine, but all the other instruments sounded like not quite Sega Genesis Sonic style instruments, and it's like, what? You're almost there.
Kind of shrill.
You're like almost there, but it's like just slightly off. It's just slightly off. Yeah. There's some decent ones in there, but
like Metal Sonic's theme is pretty grad. I like that a lot.
Yeah. What's the name of the opening stage? That one's pretty decent.
Episode 1 or 2?
Episode 1.
Sunset Hill, maybe?
Whichever one. Splash Hill.
Yeah,
Splash Hill is okay. It just was kind of like a lot of it was also kind of rehashing previous zone themes and not quite doing them as well. There were some pretty neat ones in episode 2. I remember, like the casino combined with the Egyptian temple sort of deal. But
I remember in episode 2, there's a boss fight track that randomly goes to a bit from Twinkle Park and then back to the main theme, and it's like there's no transition. It doesn't fit. It's just here's Twinkle Park's theme. Okay.
Yeah.